Hello YouTube, this is Samaris Hunter. Today I'm bringing you an Ancient Gear deck post-Duelist Legacy. But first I would like to take a moment to honor the people who died 16 years ago on 9/11. There we go. Anyways, let's get started. First, I run 3 Ancient Gear Reactor Dragons. This is the boss monster of the deck. It's also one of the more important monsters, as if you tribute using an Ancient Gear monster, he can inflict piercing. If you tribute summon him using a gadget monster, he can attack twice, and your opponent can't do diddly against it during the battle phase. It's basically one of the best monsters in the deck. Here's what it looks like. Sorry for the glare. I'm still working on the lighting. Make sure we focus on Yugi. Yugi. Use the Celtic Guardian. I don't have the Celtic Guardian. Sorry. I run 2 Ancient Gear Golems. He inflicts piercing when he attacks a defense position monster, and your opponent can activate spell or trap cards. So he's an okay monster. Yugi's out of focus. Focus, Yugi! Next I run 3 Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. And yes, by now I'm sure you've noticed I'm trying to do this differently. Instead of just reading you the card description, I'm just going to show you the card and give you my best shorthand description. Basically, when he is normal summoned, deal 600 damage to your opponent. Your opponent can activate spell or trap cards during the battle phase. And once per turn, you can use it and any other Ancient Gear monsters in your hand or field as fusion materials. But Ancient Gear Hunting Hound must be one of the fusion materials. Next I run 2 of the new Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. He has the same effect as Ancient Gear Golem. The only difference is he has the added 2 effects that up to twice per turn, which means you can do this twice. You can banish a machine monster, and he can attack again. So he can attack up to 3 times per turn. Additionally, if he is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you get to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. So he's not a bad card. I only run the 2 of them because, well, he's a little clutter. He causes a little bit of clutter. Next, I run 3 Ancient Gear Wyvern. Comes with the stereotypical, stopping the opponent from activating spell or trap card effects. Well, actually, any card effect for that matter. However, he cannot be. However, when he's normal or special summon, you get to add an Ancient Gear card from your deck to your hand. So it's an easy way of getting that one card you need. It's a shame it doesn't affect Gear Town, which is an amazing field spell. Next I run 2 Ancient Gear Engineer. He inflicts piercing, and your opponent can activate spell or trap cards, but they can still activate monster effects, which suck. But if it successfully destroys a monster, you get to target a spell or trap card on the field, and then destroy it. So basically, it's kind of like Reactor Dragon, which is one of its effects, and I completely forgot to mention it. My bad. Next I run 2 Ancient Gear Knight. This is the only Gemini monster in this deck. And I mostly run it for its negation effect. It's also fusion fodder. Next I run 1 Ancient Gear Gadget. It's a useful card as it can be you can declare a monster, spell, or trap. Your opponent can't activate any effects related to those cards until their next turn. Additionally, you can change this card into any gadget monster. So, red gadget, green gadget, yellow gadget, gold, or silver. Or as I like to refer to them as, ketchup, mustard, relish, onion, and bun. Leave a comment below if you got the references. Next I run 2 Ancient Gear boxes. I run this card because if you pull it from your deck or graveyard via card effect and not drawing it, you get to add this little guy to your hand. And this is important because you can declare, if you special summon this card too, you can then summon this guy, and then you'd have 2 pieces that you need to summon Reactor Dragon, because then you can change this card to a gadget monster, and then you'd have both a gadget and an Ancient Gear monster to tribute. So it's one heck of a combo. Provided, of course, you can get them to survive until your next turn. The next card, the next card is actually not an Ancient Gear monster, but it is useful because it's Max C. Basically, you can send this during either player's turn, send it from the hand to the graveyard, and each time your opponent special summons, draw 1 card. That's it on the monsters. Now on to the spells. I run 2 Power Bond. Basically, this card is a machine-oriented polymerization. And when the fusion is successful, it doubles the attack power. However, at the end of your turn, that monster is destroyed, then you take damage equal to the fusion monster's attack power. So use this as a last resort. Or if you have your opponent in the perfect position, go ahead and use it and just wipe them out. Next I run hang on. 3 Gear Town. This is the one and only field spell in this deck. And it affects both players, and you're allowed to normal summon Ancient Gear monsters with 1 less tribute. Also, if it's destroyed, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So if Gear Town, you can actually blow it up on your own until I trigger this effect as well. So Gear Town don't judge. It's also an easy way of getting Golem or Reactor Dragon out real quick. Next I run 3 Ancient Gear Catapult. This card, unfortunately, can only be activated when you control no monsters. You can then target one face-up card that you control and destroy it, and special summon an Ancient Gear monster from the deck, ignoring summoning conditions. So if and you can also banish this card from the graveyard to special summon an Ancient Gear token, which is useful for tributing fodder. You can also use it for fusion fodder too, which is nice. Next, I run 3 Ancient Gear Fortress. Now this is a really nice card too, because it can also be used for tributing fodder. So during the turn, they were normal or special summon. Your opponent cannot target Ancient Gear monsters you control with card effects, nor can they be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot activate card or effects in response to the activation of Ancient Gear cards or end effects. So basically, it prevents them from doing diddly against you, but only for the turn the card has been summoned. Also, if this card is destroyed in the spell or trap card, special summon one Ancient Gear monster from your hand or graveyard. But you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Ancient Gear monsters. So it's real nice to use in combination with Catapult. You pretty much get 2 Ancient Gear monsters for the price of, well, 2 spell cards. And I mostly run 3 for the combo. Now, as you remember, I stated that you can blow up your own gear town to kick off its effect. And here's the card you'd use. 2 Double Cyclone. Basically, it's an eye for an eye card. You destroy one of your own spell or trap cards to destroy one of your opponents. Next, I utilize 3 Overload Fusions. You pretty much remove from play from your side of the field or your graveyard fusion materials listed on a Dark Machine fusion monster. Then special summon it. So it's kind of like a Miracle Fusion, only it works on dark attribute machines. What's not to love? Next, I run 1 Upstart Goblin. You draw a card, your opponent gains 1,000 life points. Enough said. And then I run 1 Limiter Removal, which doubles the attack of all face-up machine monsters that are on your side of the field. However, during the end phase, destroy all monster cards that were affected by this effect. So it's kind of a risky move, but it does pay off in the end. I only run 1 trap card, and that's Ancient Gear Reborn. It's actually a really useful card. If you control however, you can only use its effect when you control no monsters. You target 1 Ancient Gear monster in the graveyard, special summon it, then it gains 200 attack. And this attack power remains even if Ancient Gear Reborn is taken off the field. That's it for the main deck. Now on to the extra deck. I used to run 3 of him. Then I kind of traded 1 away. But the cards I got in exchange were really good, so fair trade. I will also tell you that I do not have an Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. But if I did, I'd run 2 of them. So the 2 in question here that I do have is 2 Chaos Ancient Gear Giants. This is your powerhouse. Limiter removal doesn't work on him though, but Power Bond does. And basically, he's created from 4 Ancient Gear monsters. And he can only be fusion summoned. He's unaffected by spell or trap cards. Your opponent's monsters cannot activate their effects during the battle phase. This card attacks every single monster your opponent controls once each. And if it attacks the defense position monster, inflict piercing to your opponent. The only downside is that he cannot attack the opponent directly. That's the only downside. But aside from that, he's pretty much the best monster in this entire deck. Now, as I stated before, I do not have Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. But if I did, I'd run 2 of them. And I do know his effect. He pretty much inflicts piercing. He's created from 1 Ancient Gear Golem and 2 other Ancient Gear monsters. Additionally, if he will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to special summon an Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard. And the last 2 cards are 2 Ancient Gear Hautzer. It's unfortunate, but these are all I have in the extra deck. Let you get a good look at him. Alright, fast. He's created from 2 Ancient Gear monsters, and he's unaffected by card effects. During the main phase, you can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. You can only use this effect of Hautzer once per turn. If he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. And the best part is you can use its 1,000 damage effect and still attack with him. So he's a pretty good card. And of course, 3 Ancient Gear tokens. 1 for each of the catapults. Like I said, that's all I had for the extra deck. I'm sorry I don't have more. I honestly wish I did. But this now leads to the next part. I need to finish my extra deck. So leave in the comments what cards you would run in the extra deck. You don't have to give why. I can find out for myself. Additionally, leave in the comment section what you'd like to see me do next. And if I can afford it, I will do it. That's all for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked what you saw. It really helps me out. It really does, more than you'd think. And that's it. Bye. See you next video.